let's be honest with ourselves. There's a lot of shitty lovers out there. They're the jealous, controlling, and lazy people that we sometimes find ourselves in a relationship with. But on the flip side, there are some incredible lovers out there as well. Those who are passionate, giving, and the self-sacrificing people that we hope to fall in love with when we're younger. So how do we increase the likelihood of finding someone that we actually fall in love with and not have a relationship that ends in divorce? So, it's February, a month that revolves around love and Black history. So how better else to spend your time than to learn about the topic of love from a Black man? What is going on, all you beautiful people out there? My name is John Burt. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and therapist extraordinaire. And welcome to another session with the Chocolate Therapist. Today, we are talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is the topic of love. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on what qualities make us good lovers and bad lovers. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my intro. So, let's turn to the work of psychologist Abraham Maslow. If you've taken any type of basic psychology 101 course, then you might be familiar with his theory on the Harkey of Needs, which is a topic that we'll return to very shortly. In addition to that theory, he also talked about love, specifically good lovers versus bad lovers. So, Maslow characterizes bad lovers as D lovers. This stands for deficiency lover. These are deficiency-minded individuals. Their love is characterized by a dependency on their partner. They're not so much bad lovers, but more so ill-equipped lovers, who from a young age most likely didn't have many or some of their needs adequately met by their parents. So this sets them up to be dependent on others. I call these individuals needers because they need their partner to provide them with happiness, validation, and security. This in turn makes them more beholden to others' opinions of them, more needy of praise from others, more anxious for honors and recognition, and the desire for continual gratification from others. They're literally drug addicts, and their partner is their drug. These needs can create toxic qualities like possessiveness, jealousy, insecurities, selfishness, and little genuine concern for their partner's true welfare. Love to the needer is being chosen and valued by another person. And because of this, they continually seek out to be in relationships with others, entering relationships with the ulterior motive of using their partner as a source of validation and happiness that they can't provide for themselves. All these factors work together to turn their partners not into someone that they love, but someone that they use as a tool to help manage their underlying anxieties and fears. So, if you're anything like me, you might see some of these traits within yourself right now. Or maybe you see them in a current lover or a lover you had in your past. So let's take a step back and compare some of these traits with the characteristics of a good lover. Maslow classified good lovers as B lovers, meaning being lovers. I call them feeders because their love is based on a genuine concern for another's welfare and happiness. These are growth-minded individuals. Their love is characterized by self-governing independence. They are more likely to have had their needs adequately met at a younger age, and this sets them up to be successful on their own. Because their source of love comes from within, they are not dependent on others for validation. Because of this, they are less threatened or jealous, more eager to help others towards achieving their goals, and are more secure in who they are. Additionally, feeders are more apt to be proud of others' triumphs, more generous, and able to perform acts of self-sacrifice. Overall, feeders view love as an action you share with others. When talking about the differences between needers and feeders, it centers around two main things. That's how adequately our needs were met in the past and how we go about meeting these needs in the here and now. So it raises the question, what exactly are these needs? In order to find that answer, we have to go back to our old friend Maslow and look at his theory of the Harkey of Needs. Psychologist Abraham Maslow theorized that inherent in every single one of us are 5 fundamental needs, and that these needs are ranked in priority. Number 1 would be physiological needs. Number 2 are safety needs. Number 3 would be our need for belongingness. Second to last would be our esteem needs, and last but not least is our need for self-actualization. So let's break these down. First, we have physiological needs. These are things like air, water, food, shelter, and sleep. These are easy to understand because without these things, we would die. Plain and simple. Second are safety needs. These are things like personal security, employment, resources, good health, and property. Without these needs being met, you'd probably be in a constant state of fear, worry, and anxiety. If you ever lost a job, lived in a dangerous neighborhood, or didn't have the money to pay your bills, you've struggled in this area. Third is our need for belongingness. This is the need for relationship, love, family, and a sense of connection with others. This need meets our inherent desire for community, support, feeling love, and loving others. Next is our need for esteem. There's two components to this need. First is our need to feel good about ourselves. This is our ability to look in the mirror and like what we see. Second is the need of being valued by others. This is our natural desire of wanting to be liked and seen as worthy by others. One quick thing I want to note before we move on at this stage is don't be that guy who lies to himself and is like, oh, John, I don't care how many likes I get on Instagram. I have a small circle. That is bullshit, and you are lying to yourself because to a varying degree, we all care about how others view us. Moving on. Lastly is our need for self-actualization. This is our need for fulfillment, finding purpose in life, and achieving the feeling that we are living up to our maximum potential. We all one day hope to be on our deathbeds, able to reflect on a life that was fully lived and experienced with no regrets. So a lot of you might be thinking, what the hell does this have to do with love, John? And that's a good question. Maslow theorized that how adequately we had our needs met in childhood would directly correlate with our ability to function as an adult. So I see a lot of the times that people are in such a rush to minimize a lot of the negative aspects of their childhood. They think because they had a roof over their head or food on the table that their childhood was perfect. But let me ask you a couple of questions. Were you supported by loved ones and friends growing up, or even now currently? Do the people around you lift you up and encourage you at all? And do you currently feel like life has purpose and meaning in it? I ask you these questions because food on the table or a roof over our heads are literally the bare minimum of our needs. So if the answer is no to any of these questions, then psychology would suggest that we have an increased likelihood of developing depression, anxiety, drug use, criminal behavior, poverty, and what we're talking about today, our ability to maintain a healthy relationship. So I feel like I'm getting a little too depressing, so let's move on to our next stage, and that's talking about solutions. How do we go from being a needer to a feeder? We can find part of the answer to this question with the help of 20th century psychologist Erich Fromm. He writes in his book, The Art of Loving, that the ability to be alone is a condition for the ability to love. So let's make sense out of this. When looking at some of the elements of what makes someone an ill-equipped lover, the problem revolves around a mindset of dependency, neediness, and selfishness. A lot of these traits come as a result of our inability to stand on our own 2 feet. So we cling on to others and hope that they can solve our problems for us. So, how do we achieve aloneness? The answer comes by a quote by psychoanalyst Otto Rank. He states that growth comes through separation. Some of my deepest moments of growth came as a result of separation. What separation does is expose our flaws and insecurities. My breakup happened because I wasn't truly loving my girlfriend, but was using her to solve my anxieties and depressions. I was fired from my job because my love of money was motivating me to make morally poor decisions. These were some of the hardest moments I ever had to endure, and they came as a result of life forcing me into a place of separation. As much as I hate to admit it, my own growth would have never happened without these moments of separation. My time away from these 2 things helped to uncover areas of my life that I was avoiding working on. While separation first generates anxieties, it's ultimately a catalyst for personal growth. It's a call for action that requires those who struggle with loneliness to explore new methods of resting in their aloneness. We're avoiding our old ways of coping with our anxieties and replacing them with new ones. Separated from our previous distractions, we are finally able to know, love, and value ourselves. Those who can confront and explore their fear of isolation can learn to relate to others in a mature and loving fashion, because we no longer see them as a tool to cure our anxieties, but an individual braving the same fears and anxieties that we all deal with. So that about wraps up this week's session. So if you enjoyed the video, maybe consider slapping that like button, slapping that subscription button, and putting your boy over that 100 subscriber mark. It would genuinely make my day. If you really like the video, then maybe you hit that dangly notification button and get alerted whenever I drop a new video. And if you really, really like my video, then maybe you leave a comment. Say something nice and positive, or maybe you leave some constructive criticism. Let me know, highlight something that I need to work on. Or, you just don't do any of those things. You just keep watching my videos and not liking, subscribing, or commenting. There's a lot of you out there that do that, and it's a little weird, but I love you guys all the same. Anyway, that is it for this week's session. If you made it this far, I truly and genuinely appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next session. God bless. Do me a favor, if you like this video, then slap that like button, slap that, oh, shit, oh. Hold on, let me calm down real quick. It's getting too hype. Gonna break my equipment. Ooh, you see that? Psych, fooled y'all. Woo! What's up? You want me to suck these toes, girl? Yeah, they looking a little rusty. If the answer is... Ooh.